So what age did you get in with Celtic? What was the sort of formalities of that? How did that come about?
So I was seven years old, just playing my local boys club. Just every Saturday I would go down, play with my friends, home and away, just all over kind of my area, Lanarkshire. We'd just play, and one day, without me even knowing it after the game, the coach said to my dad, somebody wants to speak to you, and it was a Celtic scout. And from there I was training every Friday until I was 9 years old, and then he eventually signed, and then you take it from there, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and you build it all the way up. What
was that like at such a young age, having gone from watching the team for them to actually be interested in you, Kieran?
Yeah, I think that's you still think it's too good to be true, but I remember just going about telling my friends, like, oh, I've been scouted by Celtic, and yeah, they're like, no worries, mate, just kind of like, that's what you have, because it never really happened to anyone from where we were from, so it was always a shock to us.
How was your dad?
Yeah, he was buzzing, as you can imagine. Full family was. And every week we got to train and put the Celtic strip on when I was 7 years old, so you can imagine how I felt as well.
But there's still a lot of hard work to go from that age to where you got. How was that development? How hard was that in that period?
I wouldn't say hard, I would say the most probably enjoyable time of my life. You're playing with Celtic, you're a young boy. The coach at the time was Martin Miller, his name was, and he just made you enjoy football. I think that was his main aim. That wasn't took too serious back then. It was obviously serious, everyone wants to win, of course, but like, you never thought of it like that. We were just enjoying it. We were just kind of 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds just wanting to play football, and the coach we had at the time was the best, and I still keep in touch with him today, and I'm very grateful for what he's done for my career.
Brilliant. And as you went through the age groups, when did it sort of become a little bit more serious that you were fighting for contracts or to be kept on or taken on?
I think there is always an element of that. Like, even when you're 7 years old, it was every 6 weeks you would get a letter saying if you're staying on or not. And even back then, I was scared of the rejection of it, like, because I couldn't bear not playing with them at the time. That's all I wanted to do. So growing up, it would be then every year, and then I think when you got to 15 years old, that was the kind of professional contract time, and I was like last to find out in my team, and I think I got like the worst kind of contract as well. So it was kind of like a bittersweet moment. Everyone was getting 2 or 3 year contracts, whereas I got like 1 year expenses contract. So it was hard to take, but at the end of the day, I was like, I've got 1 year at Celtic, and just need to prove myself again. I
was going to say, that was an early test of mindset and mentality then, really, at that age.
Yeah, and it was the first time I kind of had that in my life. When I was younger as well, actually, I had rejection from the Scotland squads. So like all the boys in the different age groups would go and play with Scotland, and a few of us would be left behind, and that was always hard to take as well as like a schoolboy, because you want to go and you want to represent your country. So I couldn't do that, and then I think that had an effect on the contract situation as well. A lot of the boys who played with Scotland were the ones who got the bigger contracts, so it was hard to take at that age, but for sure it's made me mentally tougher and more ready for challenges, and I've had plenty more in my career since that day, and I'll have plenty more going forward.